Kiwi Bird, I feel a bit embarrassed because I actually did write in Nikki Kaye in my notes. And I forgot to mention it. So yeah, that was real sad news for lots of reasons, but she's only 44. There's this world we live in now where I call them like lightning moments when something happens to you and you're the one it's happening to. Like the example I used to think about was all the times I've taken people to the airport and dropped them off. They're going to Europe, and then I drop them off and they go through those doors and I go home. And then once in a while, I'm the one being dropped off and I literally go through those doors and I go, so this is what they were doing when I dropped them off. It's a lightning rod moment. It's happening to me. I'm in the moment. And things like death, it's a lightning rod moment for everybody because it happens to everybody.
Yeah, well, and one of Nikki was my age,
44.
And she's been fighting cancer for 10 years.
Yeah, eight. I think, not 2016.
Yeah, and I think like people from across the political spectrum have been coming out with stories about Nikki.
Yeah,
and the thing that I sort of thought of is like she was held up as a potential leader for the National Party for a while there.
Well, she went in with Todd Muller.
And a portion of the National Party that were considered the progressive wing of National. There's none of those guys left.
Yeah, it's true.
Like what could have been comes up at these moments.
She was probably one of those people that was a capital L liberal, like from the old days, not neoliberal, conservative liberal. Because I didn't quite hear the full context. I'm probably missed, but there's something to do with a certain LGBT celebration that used to happen in Auckland that she was one of the ones that got restarted in. So she was one of the strongest advocates, and she crossed the house for various things. And yeah, really sad. I mean, like, to be honest, let's not be too dramatic about what we're missing out on. Friends and family of Nikki it's the saddest for them and for her. But looking at her as a public figure and stuff, the broader context, it's pretty freaking awful, man.
Did you see, we're tangenting a little bit here, but I think it's worthy. Did you see John Key's comments?
Yeah.
Basically saying maybe she should have just got back to work and she'd be okay.
Get back to fucking work.
Just insane.
No, I don't know. I don't know if you've read that room, right? Because I call more kind of here, like in a moment of you've had this diagnosis and you're like, what do I do with my life now? And someone going, why don't you get back to fucking work? It can be also a distraction and a good thing. So I think when she said it in the house, everyone laughed because, it's like, okay, so do you want to go home and die or do you want to get back to work? It's that kind of, it could be, all I'm saying is I can understand how it's received that way as well. I can understand.
Okay. I'm happy to acknowledge that I have a bias against John Key, and I'm quite happy to believe the bad version that I just said. But yeah,
you might be right. I don't know.
For such a job as being in politics and being in Parliament, like we've spent several shows saying how stressful and toxic that place is. I can't imagine that deciding to continue to work in that space and try and fight off an aggressive cancer is the best advice.
I know. I don't know.
Yeah,
like I said,
maybe right with me.
Yeah, well, maybe it's more of a kind of a elbow. Come on. You live life because you live life. You don't go home to die. Do you want to live your life that's, that you do whatever you want for as long as you want, or do you want to live life that you go home and be sad and die? I mean, I wasn't there to hear the context, but I can see how that could be said to someone in a way of, are you giving up? Is that what you'd like to do? Would you like to give up and go home and give up? Or would you like to stay here, keep working and fight this thing and we'll fight it with you? So it just depends. It just depends.